From the Caribbean News Desk, the morning edition. Good morning. I'm Kendol Morgan.
And I'm Denis Chabrol with the latest from across the Caribbean.
Teachers in Guyana are to get a 10% salary increase for this year, 8% next year, and 9% in 2026. The agreement between the Guyana Teachers Union and the Ministry of Education also provides for several non-taxable allowances and duty-free concessions. However, Union General Secretary Coretta MacDonald has accused President Dr. Mark Light of deceiving a number of negotiators and members of the Teachers Union's General Council. She says he acted in concert with the government and signed an agreement that contains meager benefits. But the Teachers Union president dismisses his General Secretary's accusation and says under the rules of the union, he is compelled to sign the agreement.
The real issue was the percentage that was offered. And the fact that the majority of General Council said, let's take it, that is what propelled me to say, let's go ahead and have it signed. If the members felt that the decision should have been overturned, they would have written in those 12 days, that they had 21 days to write, they would have written in those 12 days to indicate that they needed, as far as I know, nobody has written. So the decision stood.
Vincentian Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves is dismissing claims that Jamaican dancehall star Vybz Kartel's ongoing visitors in Vincent and the Grenadines may be partly to support his re-election bid among youth voters. Kartel, whose birth name is Aditya Palmer, has been in St. Vincent and the Grenadines since last Friday on a visit welcomed by the Vincentian leader.
As I have won 5 elections on the run, on the trot, without any involvement from Mr. Palmer, and I shall win the 6th and can with or without Mr. Palmer's assistance.
Vybz Kartel's visit to SVG began 2 weeks after Jamaica's Court of Appeal ruled against a retrial for murder for which he had already spent 13 years in prison. He has reportedly seen a Vincentian-based Cuban-born endocrinologist and a local medical support team in relation to his diagnosis with Graves' disease. Dr. Gonsalves says the dancehall artist will also use some of his time in St. Vincent and Grenadines to talk to young people.
And I understand that he's interested in meeting some young cultural artists and to talk to them, and also to talk to persons to be disciplined and stay away from criminal activities. That's what I've been advised. I didn't ask him to do any of that. That is being done independently.
The United States is disappointed that only 2 Caribbean Community CARICOM member states endorsed a joint statement calling for democracy in Venezuela. That statement calls for the immediate publication of all original records and the impartial and independent verification of Venezuela's July 28 election results, preferably by an international entity, to ensure respect for the will of Venezuelans as expressed at the polls. U.S. Ambassador to CARICOM Nicole Theriot welcomed Guyana and Suriname's support of the statement, which condemned repression of protesters and the violence that has claimed the lives of many Venezuelans in the post-election period.
We were extremely pleased that the governments of Guyana and Suriname signed on to that statement. It's incredibly important to us that we are all together in defending democracy in this region and globally. And it meant a lot to us to have those partners in the region, global, well, especially Guyana, becoming a global leader. It meant so much to have Guyana on that statement. We're very, very grateful, and we hope that it will have an impact on President Maduro and his administration moving forward.
Guyana's Foreign Secretary Robert Passard, in reposting the statement on his Facebook page, remarked that democracy will triumph, and those states, including Caribbean leftists which seek to justify rigging, must decide which side of history they want to be on. The American ambassador says the U.S. is disappointed that the other CARICOM member states did not support the statement.
That's quite disappointing, actually. For us, it seems very clear that to support democracy, certain things need to be done with regard to the elections. And if those other countries chose not to sign on, that's their right. But we are quite disappointed.
Cricket West Indies President Dr. Kishore Shallow remains non-committal about getting into elective politics in his native St. Vincent and the Grenadines despite a recent poll showing he is highly favored among the Vincentian electorate. The poll, commissioned by the Caribbean Institute for Governance and Policy Research and led by University of the West Indies political science lecturer Deborah Bruce, puts Dr. Shallow just behind the opposition leader Dr. Godwin Friday as an alternative leader to Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, despite not publicly declaring himself a candidate. He also polled ahead of the two front-runners for leadership succession in the ruling party, Agriculture Minister Suboto Caesar and Finance Minister Camilo Gonsalves, the son of the Prime Minister. Dr. Shallow addressed his political future on local radio yesterday.
It is something certainly I will consider at the right time. And the very truth is, if there is a compelling enough call, and my family is in agreement that this is the time, then who knows, right? So that is it. But it's a discussion I would certainly have to have with my family, which I haven't had at this point.
This has been the morning edition from the Caribbean News Desk. You may contact us by phone or WhatsApp at +592 700 9293. Thanks for listening.